Hello, I'm Indy, and welcome to the second part of my Rayman 2 playthrough. Just a little reminder, this is not an expert or 100% playthrough, it's just a normal playthrough with some added facts and knowledge that I gathered about the game, so you can view this as a commentary track, like on a DVD or Blu-ray. Let's jump in the next level, shall we? Let's go! Funnily enough, I can still remember the day that I first played Rayman 2. I never heard of Rayman before, and one day a friend of mine brought the game, the PC version of the game, to class. I was about 13 or 14 years old, and he knew I liked video games. So he said, I have a fun game here, do you want to play it? I said, of course, and when I went home I had the afternoon off, and I installed and played it, and I almost finished it in one sitting. I thought it was really good, really fun. And a couple of years later I found the PC version very cheap in a store, so I bought my own copy, and I loved it then as much as I did the first time. Back in the day it was a different time. We were complaining about other things than we do now. Like in the first video I said the controls weren't the best and that they might take some getting used to. Back in the day that wasn't as much as an issue. We were more used to crappy controls and we just handled it, we just learned how to use them. These days if something doesn't feel intuitive enough, we immediately say the game has bad controls, and now they have the opportunity to make games with better controls, so maybe it's okay to complain just a little bit. But back then we didn't mind, and if the frame rate was a little bit lower than 60, we didn't mind. Let's get this cage, and here you can clearly see that we do not have next-gen fishes. They do not move out of the way when Rayman comes along. Stupid joke about Call of Duty, of course. But it's I haven't played this game since the second time that I bought it, of the first time I bought it, but the second time I played it. So this is almost a blind playthrough of this. I also said in the previous video that the main focus of this game was the Nintendo 64 version. And even though I love that system, I think it has amazing games, I do not have this one. I do have Tonic Trouble, however. Tonic Trouble is also a 3D platformer by the same people that made this game. And the story behind Tonic Trouble is basically that they were making Rayman 2, and Rayman 1 was a 2D platformer. And they were making Rayman 2 also as a 2D platformer. But with the Nintendo 64 and also the PlayStation 1, it became clear that platformers were getting a lot more popular if they were in 3D. So they decided to switch engines and to make Rayman 2 as a 3D game, but they weren't really sure if it would work. So what they did was they made a different game, and that game was Tonic Trouble. And it reminds me a little bit of Rayman 2. It's also a character without arms or legs, and it's basically a similar game. Once they figured, it's not as good though. It's not as good as Rayman 2. And once they figured out that they could do it, they made Rayman 2 in a 3D platformer. Platformers and first-person shooters are my two favorite game genres, and I really like the 3D platformer collectathons of the Nintendo 64 era. Games like Mario 64 and Banjo-Kazooie. I like these games very, very much. So I'm really looking forward to Ukulele that's coming out in a couple of months. What do we have here? Oh, can I hit this enemy? If it's even an enemy. Yes, I can. I probably did something right. Judging the music. As you can see, Rayman does not have any arms or legs. And the reason is actually a pretty stupid one. The animators couldn't figure out in Rayman 1 how to animate the arms or the legs. It just didn't really work in their engine and they had a lot of difficulties with it. So they at some point said, well, we'll figure it out. For now, let's just have the character without arms or legs. When they made that decision, they figured out that they could add a couple of gameplay elements to the game that they didn't have or couldn't have if the character had arms. As you can see, he throws, in this game he actually throws some power ball, I don't know how to call it, but in the other games he throws his fists. And throwing his fists wouldn't be possible if the character had arms. And since they liked that element, they decided to just keep the character without arms or legs. Let's see, can I jump up here? Yes, I can. Alright, let's continue. The music is so fun to listen to. It makes this really fun. It really complements the level, in my opinion. Now there's one thing I do remember about the game, and that's there are a couple of weird design choices. It's a lot more linear than games like Mario 64 or Banjo-Kazooie, but in a couple of levels they decide to let later levels have some kind of exit to a previous level to get another collectible, and I'm not really sure if that's one of these cases. I'm not going to worry about it since this is not a 100% playthrough, but it's annoying nonetheless. Evil robot, pirate robot. I'm guessing I have to put a barrel up here. And I was right. Now, is that a secret or is this the secret? Let's have a look. I hear a cage. And here, two cages, but one that I probably can't get from here. makes 3 out of 7. It appears that these levels are pretty long, but that's okay. It's actually still as fun as I remember it. It's at this point a pretty basic platformer, but that doesn't really matter all that much. As long as a game is fun, it doesn't really matter. Let's drop down here. Again with these timed lumps, red lumps, I'm not really sure if that's what that gains me though. Tricky, tricky. Not that bad actually. Nice save. He says to save face. And again I drop. Well done, Andy. You really excel at gaming. You also, of course, have another 3D platformer in the Rayman series, that's Rayman 3. And I can't get over the fact that you don't really have collectible lumps in that game. In this game you have, let's see, 50 lumps in this level, and the cages. In Rayman 3, for some reason they decided to make the lumps give you points, and not in a collectible way. And it's also based in a combo system, so how faster you pick them up, the more points you get. And I really did not like that, and I still don't like that, and it actually spoils the game for me. I don't like the game just because of that reason. It's weird because Rayman 3 has some great levels, has also amazing graphics for its time, and they still look good. But I just can't get over the fact that they used the combo high score system instead of collectibles. I don't think I can break that with my basic weapon. And another enemy. He seems to be a bit easier than the previous one. Could be wrong, but I think he was easier. Ah, I think I can break that door with this. Let's see. No, that's not how you do it. Let's try again. This game is also way easier than Rayman 1. I've never completed. I have Rayman 1, but I've never completed it. That's how you do it. I never completed it. It's a really hard game, but it's hard for the wrong reasons. The game is beautiful to look at. It's beautifully animated. They hire cartoonists to make the graphics even better. But that also means that he has too many frames of animation, and that sometimes some parts of the game require split-second reactions, and because of how the game plays and how it's animated, it's overly difficult. And at about 2/3 into the game gets really hard. And I haven't tried it in these last few years, but a few years ago it was still too hard for me. And I didn't have any fun, so I stopped playing it. Now, why do I not get high enough for this? What am I doing wrong? Oh, I have to go through here. Careful. And another enemy. Still getting used to the controls. He has invincibility frames. Let's go through here. I can do it too with the invincibility frames. Now, what do you people like? Do you like these longer videos? Because I plan to do this video, this level in one video, so we'll have a longer video, I'm sorry. So we'll have a longer video. Or do you want me to split these levels up into 2 or 3 smaller videos? I don't really mind either way, so if you guys have some kind of preference, let me know in the comments. And also, if you have things you want different or don't like, let me know. I'll try to adjust accordingly. And also the games you like me to play. If you have a suggestion, I'm open for them. Like I said, I prefer shooters, first-person shooters and platformers. And I probably won't play strategy games. I don't really like those. I did that correctly. I was hesitating because I remembered what I had to do, but I couldn't remember how to do it. Oh, that went well. I have to do this 2 more times. I'm also interested to hear what kind of Rayman games you guys prefer. Do you like the 3D ones better, the 2D ones? And how do you feel about the newest Rayman games? I for one didn't really like Rayman Origins for some reason. I played it and I finished it, but I didn't really think it was that incredible, at least not at the same level as most people seem to think. And it's also the reason I didn't play the sequel, Legends I think it's called, because I didn't really like Origins. But I heard that Legends is better, so I might pick it up one day. A locust? No, nope, never heard of him. Ah, That's my quest, finding the masks to defeat the pirates. Very ancient video game trope. But it's maybe because I'm gaming for so long. I do like a game a lot more when it's more video gamey, with extra lives and collectibles and power-ups, instead of those cinematic games of these last few years. But I enjoy those games too, but I prefer the more older ones, where you could still say you were really playing a gamey game, if you understand what I mean. This video is going on for a very long time, so I might actually split it up anyway, because this will go on too long. So I will stop the video here, and I hope you enjoyed this one. I know it's been a long one. I will try to make my next videos a bit smaller, but let me know what you think about the game length or the video length. Some basketball action. If you liked it, let me know, comment, subscribe, and I will see you next time.